My passion is to always be innovative, to work hard, to succeed in whatever mission I take. I'm a man of the masses and I define myself, and that is how people define me, as an expert in aviation and tourism and a social worker. And that's what my definition is. I'm always willing to help people whenever they need my help. Well, my father was a self-made man. He was a freedom fighter. He started a bookshop in Allahabad. He was arrested and tortured by the British because he was distributing Guru Ka Bagh Inquiry Committee reports for the Congress. And then he came to Old Delhi, Nai Sadak, where he started a small bookshop. And then slowly it became India's biggest bookshop. Now our family business is of books. I was sent, because I was a very naughty child, so I was sent to a boarding house in Mussoorie, that is Convent of Jesus St. Mary, Hampton Court, Mussoorie. In Mussoorie, I did my primary education. After primary, I went to Delhi Public School, and from Delhi Public School, I joined Delhi University, Shri Ram College of Commerce. So in the second year, I was elected as the youngest president of Delhi University Students' Union. And being the youngest president of Delhi University Students' Union, I was offered various political positions, including contesting for the Member of Parliament. But because my father was tortured by the British, he told me not to enter active politics. So I started helping and selling books for my father's bookshop. And during that period, I was also invited, I was a student leader, I was invited to an international conference in Japan, where university could have given me the money, but since we were anti-establishment, we decided not to take money from this, and I was told that if I collect 15 people, the 16th ticket will be free. So I collected 15 people, I got a free ticket, and I made 1000 rupees per ticket. Those days when the dollar was 8 rupees, 1000 rupees was a lot of money. And I told the students that, look, I am making this much money, 500 rupees is yours, but most of the students didn't take the money. So that money, it was my first trip abroad. And I went to Japan for Expo 70, and also I attended the international conference there representing India. This travel was an accident, and it was a great accident because I wanted to see the planet on which I am born and before I die, and I thought that there is no better way than seeing the planet than joining the travel trade. So I started in a humble way a company known as Student Travel Information Center, STIC, and with one table and one chair, and by sheer hard work, honesty and strategy, I have been able to make this company grow. It was in a theatre communication building which was demolished during the emergency, and we had to put the board on our car and sold tickets from the car. That was covered by the evening edition those days of Hindustan Times, and with the result, one of my friends offered me a place in the York Hotel. From York Hotel, we came to Imperial Hotel, and then there was no looking back. And airline after airline we gained, and I remember when my daughter was born, first daughter was born, we had to take another room in the York Hotel, where my wife used to, it's a husband and wife team. So she used to type with the child in her lap, and when the child went to sleep, she was put in the room. So we struggled a lot, and we built up this organization brick by brick, and I think we have enjoyed every moment of this brick, this building up. The greatest joy has been that we may not have earned that much of money, but we have earned a lot of respect, because we always were very ethical. We never had a single complaint. We never took a single penny extra from everyone. We gave people value for money. So many big companies which were there before us collapsed because they were trying to make a quick buck. We were slow and steady, and till today we are growing day by day because it's the word of mouth publicity that has enabled us to reach where we are. And today we are the largest airline and aviation and tourism marketing company in India. We are representing 12 international airlines, 3 cruise companies, Europe Rent-A-Car. We have a private air charter company. We have a separate company for youth and students from where we started, where we issue the International Student UNESCO card. And now we are diversifying into event management, conferences, MICE, inbound tourism, outbound tourism.
When we started, we never realized, or we never thought it would reach the level it has reached. At that time, we were in work, sheer hard work, and we carried on.
I love traveling. I've already seen about 146 countries. My ambition is to see every country on this planet, and I hope before I die I'll be able to achieve that ambition. I'm passionate about this tourism and travel industry because this is one industry which is labor intensive, and the greatest need of this country is eradication of poverty. We have 350 million people below poverty line, and how can we? Because with the mechanization of agriculture, there are no jobs left in the villages. So people are coming to the cities in search of jobs. So through tourism, we can create jobs in the villages so that this migration to the cities stops. That is one thing. Through rural tourism, we can create prosperity and jobs in rural India. And every state is a unique selling point, and it's like a country in itself. If every state has an international airport, then millions of jobs can be created in all these states. So I feel that, and that is why I've written a book on poverty eradication through tourism, on which I got a doctorate. And I'm happy that I was able to present this book to Modi ji when he was Chief Minister. And the 5 T's Modi ji talks about, 3 T's are from page 20 of my book. And because global economy will be driven by technology. Internationally, I love San Francisco, I love Seattle, I love Vancouver, I love the Alaska cruise, I love the Mediterranean cruise, and Venice is another beautiful city which I love. As far as Sri Lanka, Maldives are another places I love. But as far as domestic tourism is concerned, I love Kerala, I love Kashmir, I love Kullu Manali, I love Rajasthan. And there are every part of India, even the northeast, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Arunachal, they're out of the world. They are the world's best kept secrets. So India is the greatest show on this planet Earth. The total membership of IATO was only 350 members. What I did was that when I first time became president, I started a Saturday monthly luncheon meeting where all the members used to come together, and we used to call a speaker, and it used to be an interactive session. And whatever the membership wanted was told to the managing committee, which was an elected body. And this is how more and more people got involved, and more people started attending our monthly luncheon meetings. Our membership grew. We gave them a sense of participation. At that time when I had taken over, we hardly had any funds. So I wanted to start with a bang, because well begun is half done. One of my biggest achievement was, as IATO president, to get the Prime Minister to inaugurate our convention. After that, there was no looking back. Then for the other conventions, we had a lot of ministers. Then states started bidding to get our convention, because wherever the IATO convention goes, you see, there the tourism to that state increased. So we had our subsequent conventions in Jaipur, we had a convention in Hyderabad, 2 conventions in Hyderabad, 1 in the film city. Because the Prime Minister was coming, we got a lot of sponsorship, and we got a lot of this. Plus, the image of IATO went up. All the other industry associations started looking up to IATO. And not only this, the government also started taking IATO seriously. I take life as it comes, right? I believe in hard work because all those men who became great did so not by a sudden flight. They, when their comrades slept, toiled upwards in the night. So there is no substitute to hard work. But at the same time, whenever I go abroad on business, I always take out time for pleasure. I do sightseeing, I meet people, I enjoy, I go to clubs, I love dancing. I go to a disco or wherever there is an opportunity in any social event, I love dancing. In my school, I have been a sportsman. I was a basketball team. I was a record holder in the 400-meter athletic in the school. I was the best gymnast of Delhi Public School. So I have been active in sports, and I love watching sports events and taking part. And I love attending functions. Every evening I am like a social butterfly. I keep visiting a lot of parties and a lot of friends. I have been greatly inspired by Swami Vivekananda because I really feel that he has put fire inside me, and I have also been inspired by freedom fighters like Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose and all the freedom fighters, because I do believe that lives of great men tell us that we can make our lives sublime, and they are the people who have inspired me. Whatever I do with my heart and soul, otherwise I don't do it. Because in life, whatever you do, you have to put your whole, it has to be full of passion. Otherwise, you don't enjoy doing it. If there is no passion, you can't achieve anything. I'm very spiritual because, I've been influenced by Radha Swami Satsang. Earlier, in my convent school, I used to pray. God is one. I pray every morning and every evening, and that prayer gives you a lot of strength, because I believe that if you have faith and trust in God, there is nothing He and you put together cannot do. In fact, He is the one who does everything. You are only an instrument of execution. First most important thing is that you must have a goal. A man without a goal or an ambition is like a ship without a motor in the ocean. You have to be very focused on what you want to achieve, and then with a strategy and planning and hard work, you have to go towards that goal. My message to the viewers of Indian Story is that this is a great country. We have the best assets in terms of natural resources, in terms of philosophy, culture, art, music. We are a rich country, but we have the poorest people in the world. So my message is that please, in your lifetime, do something to eradicate poverty as much as possible. If all of us who are fortunate try to contribute in our own humble way, then I think this country of ours will be happier and better.